Alright, everybody, welcome to part 3 of how to make easy characters using internet stuff or, internet free assets. Um, I finally got a new headset, which I hope has a lot better sound, or has much better sound than the previous one. So, today we're gonna talk about texturing this guy by hand paint. And what we're going to do is we have our UV map here, and we're last time we expanded it so the texture will look smaller. This time we're just gonna back it up back again. I'm gonna let it be on its own there. Now it's all freaky, like it went through a burn or something. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna change this image, call it Atlas, and I wanna multiply this by 2. You can do math in these, it's pretty nice. And my base color is going to be kind of, regular skin color. I'm gonna go with the dark, a little bit more darker than usual, because we're gonna paint the light on it. So your base color, you want it to be the darker shade, so it's easier to overlay on it. Okay, so cool. So we got our texture here. I'm gonna lower the specular so it's just plain flat color. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to texture paint, and I think we got the Atlas color here. And I'm gonna do this with the mouse, just because I know most of you won't have a pen tablet, so I'm gonna do this with the mouse. What we're gonna start off is with, I'm gonna start with the coloring. Let's do some red of the skin. I'm gonna lower my power, the strength significantly, and make this a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna start to paint where the red is supposed to be on the skin. So one thing is I want to change here is that in your brushes, there's one that's has straight edges, the other one has blurred edges, and we want to change to the blurred edge one. Okay, now start dropping some red there. So basically you see it's different on both sides now because I didn't have my mirroring turned on. When you're doing painting, you want to try to have that turn on. You can turn it on up here. How you move this with the mouse is holding the mouse wheel, or you can just scroll with the mouse wheel as well. You can hold it and pull, or scroll with it. So now if I paint here, it will paint on the other side. So let's go back and get our brush. And I think this color is not red enough, to be honest, so I'm gonna move it a little bit here. Okay, now there we go. Oh, that's good. Get red there. Part of the mouth has some red as well. A little bit on the shin here. And don't worry if it's looking like you're putting makeup on it. That's technically what we're doing. But at this point, we just want to point out the redness of the face. And later on, we're gonna smooth it out, no problem. It's just smear here sometimes when you paint on the inside of the mouth. It moves all the way to the back because it's just one-sided. So if I paint here, it will paint back here. That's what happens. Okay, so with this tool, smear tool, you want to lower it a little bit, maybe 4. You can start to blend these guys. Just click a bunch of times and kind of try to move it around or smear it. Basically, you are just looking to blend it so you have that flushed color in the face, and it looks super red at this point, but we're just putting down the red part, and then we're gonna do some shadows, some lights, and you'll see how everything blends together. And again, if I'm doing this here, it'll start moving in the back, so you can just put this up really high, the strength, and clean that up, smear it out of the way. Alright, so I'll just do a little bit more here. Cool, cool, this is looking good. And if you're gonna have hair, then of course no need to do it all the way to the back. If you are gonna have a bald guy, you might wanna put some red around the scalp as well. Okay, so now I'm going to change here, go back to my brush, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use multiply. I'm gonna use this eyedrop tool, grab this again. Now I'm gonna paint a little bit the contours and where it should be dark. And then now there's parts that should be dark. Most of the time are dark because, well, lights doesn't shine there often. It's kind of the contour of our face itself, so we're gonna darken it up a little bit so when we put the lights, it has much better effect. Okay, so now back to our smudge tool. Make it a little bit more powerful. Now you wanna blend this. I'll blend that and give it the shape that you're looking for. So here, of course, I'm looking to make that cheekbone noticeable, and it looks maybe like it's a lot of makeup in it. But like I said, when we lay down the lights, and remember this happens because clip. Okay, so wanna put this here. Clean this up. There, you see, it even looks like it has a nose at this point. Cool, cool, cool. Looking really good. Just wanna give it that flow. Clean up the shin. Awesome sauce. That's pretty good. So next what we're going to do is we're going to change our back to brush, change this to screen. Now on screen we're gonna drop in some lights, and that's too powerful. Let's lower the strength, maybe a little bit more. You can see, so we're gonna put light where it should be most of the time. I'm going back because I have this brush. I want to have this brush. There we go. So the top of the nose, top of the nostrils, that's where we get lights. Here, and the top of the cheekbone, that's where we get lights. On top of the eyebrows, got light as well, and top of the lips, it's shiny. Lower part of the lip that's standing out. Good. again, when you control Z, sometimes it changes your brush, and it can be a little annoying. See, I control C again and change my brush. You gotta kind of pay attention because brush behavior is different. Okay, so that is basically where we get lights. And now, again, grab our smush tool. And you want to have it that it covers enough space so it can grab from the others colors to blend. Sometimes it doesn't blend well. That's because your brush is not big enough. So you want to make sure your brush is big enough to grab other colors around it. Just a tip if it's not blending as you expect it to blend. Like in this case, for example, I need to make it a little bit bigger so it could grab more from the other side. Alright. Let's do the mouth. And again, this is more of how you want your character to have the look. What look do you want? So it's rather a trial and error type thing. You don't have to do this in the character. Some characters you might not want it to have noticeable lip. I know it's up to you. I'm just trying to show you most of the parts that I work with, so you get an overall idea of the process that I use. Cool. So it's starting to look like a face, even though it doesn't have a nose. Super funny because if you look at it from this side, it kind of have a nose and then it goes like that, flat. So that's the beauty of hand painting. You can actually make the detail be seen even though it's not there. It allows you to have a lot less polygons. So it's pretty good. Okay, so next part is going to change our brush and gonna change to our line here, and we're gonna go back to multiply, and we're going to kind of make it small. And this part is gonna be tricky because this part we're going to create the contour lines. So, and this is where the pen tablets, they come in handy, to be honest, when you're doing contour lines and detail. So the contour lines are those parts that kind of are obvious when you see a face, and I like to darken them to a point where it's noticeable, and then when we blend them, you have that special look that it's kind of, you know, it's hand painted, and it's like a tune type thing, or it actually gives it a little bit of realism in my opinion as well. See, when you go in and you start blending it, you'll just have that line or and that detail that otherwise will get really lost. And for this, you don't want to have your brush super big, because of course it'll blend too much, and you want to leave a little bit of the contour. This is a lot of trial and error, to be honest. You'll want to test out line, see, okay, so this line looks good, this one doesn't look nice, let me kind of try to blend it more or move it. You can even change color. Sometimes changing the color is what it needs. So be creative. I encourage everybody to always try to find your own way when you're following tutorials, because in the end of the day it's you that's trying to create something unique, and if you copy, obviously it's not going to be unique at all. There you go, that's my background noise kit. I have one of those. Background noise kits, brought to you by Walmart. Alright, cool. So we have a little bit of detail there. Make some, so you kind of get that detail in the lip. Okay. Alright, so that's basically what we're going at. Just giving it detail, and then you go back and then you do more detailing. Go to screen, and we're gonna do kind of like the shine. Make this a lot shinier, a smaller. Good. That shine, that certain parts of the body have. And this is just going in and doing extra detailing, because the body has certain places that usually are shiny, and they have that feel to it, that it's always shining if there's light hitting it. There are the cheekbones, nose, lips, under the eyelid, on top of the eyes, eyebrows here. Gives it that pop, makes it feel like it's pretty, you know, that it's over it. Okay, so this is really the basic technique, and as you can see, when you paint, you have it here. This is your whole painting. Is what you get when you paint around here. And of course, it doesn't have a nose, it needs ears, and it might need more contouring on, you know, probably the cheekbones. You want to kind of make them a little bit more, pop a little bit more. I would make them pop a little bit more, and to give it a little bit more 3D contour itself. When you grab the nose, pull the nose out, we have an actual nose. There. Keep in mind, when you do paintings, you can modify the mesh, but it might not come out as you expect, because you painted having, you know, keeping in mind that it was a flat surface that you were painting on, and now you're adding a 3D geometry to it, so it might not come out as you expect. So it's good. That's why I told you first that you want to actually make sure that your overall mesh is set up previously before you do any texturing, because it'll make your life easier. Alright, so I think this is good for starting point on hand painting. Like I said, it's just mostly just lay down your foundation, lay down your darks, lay down a little bit of light, then create your contours, lay down a little bit more of the shine, and then you basically have something to work with and polish. Right, so we'll leave this tutorial here, and I'll make another one and show you a little bit of how to paint the body itself. Alright, cheers.